Hey, fifth grader, welcome to your very first secrets video. For the next 30 minutes, you will be experiencing your first lesson of secrets. You can expect 7 more videos from us. Now, who is us? I am River Otter. Something I know about river otters, most of them enjoy fresh water. A lot of them find their habitats in rivers. Now, living in the Columbia River Gorge, we have quite a few rivers where river otters can find their habitats. The Columbia River, the Hood River, the White Salmon River, and the Klickitat River. River otters also can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes, can dive 60 feet deep, and spend 2/3 of their life on land. So, now that you know me, you have 2 more people to meet.
Hi, my name is Huckleberry and welcome to Secrets. I chose the name Huckleberry because huckleberries are a very tasty treat. And you can find them while you're out in the woods on a hike. Huckleberries can also be made into some other really good snacks, like my personal favorite, huckleberry ice cream.
What's happening? Que paso? Mi nombre is Steelhead Jones. My name's Steelhead Jones. It's written here on my backpack. Steelhead Jones. I usually just go by Steelhead, and a steelhead is a type of a fish, pescado. And they're born in freshwater, so maybe born in the Columbia River. But then after they're born, they make their way out to the ocean. They spend a few years in the ocean, eating a bunch of food, getting big and strong. And when they're ready to reproduce or lay their eggs, they swim back upstream into the freshwater where they were born to lay their eggs. So they're kind of like a salmon, but salmon can only do that one time. They go out to the ocean, come back, lay eggs, and that's the end of their life cycle. Steelhead can do this 3 or 4 times, all right? So they're pretty cool fish. And I'm ready to do some secret science, all right? We're gonna have some fun. I've been doing secrets this is my 9th year doing secrets, and I've never done it this way. So I'm looking forward to trying something new. I'm gonna be doing some activities with you all, and I'm really looking forward to having some fun here.
Now that you know river otter, steelhead, and huckleberry, let's talk about what to expect from these videos. So all of these videos will have an introduction. This week's introduction is introducing ourselves and setting some expectations. Next week's video might be a review from this week's video. After the review or the introduction, you'll watch a skit about the theme for the day or the secret for the day. After the skit, you'll listen to a lesson, and then after the lesson, you'll get to do some hands-on activities. So what you need for success for these videos are a writing utensil and either your secrets journal or a blank sheet of paper for taking notes. So along with these things, you're gonna need some flexibility and some imagination. So we have never done these secrets videos before. Normally we come into your classroom. With your help, we can all go on a secrets expedition every time these videos play. Without further ado, welcome to your first secrets lesson.
Hi there, my name is Huckleberry and I want to welcome you guys to your first day of Secrets. Secrets is a science program and we usually teach this in the classroom with you guys, but we thought it would be cool if we could provide this program even while you're learning from home. So, Secrets is all about science. And over the next 7 weeks or so, you're going to be getting 1 lesson from us once a week. And each week we're going to learn a new secret of the ecosystem where we live. I'll talk more about what an ecosystem is a little bit later. Before we get started, I want to go over a few different expectations of what to expect and how we can behave during secrets. Because even though we're not in a regular classroom, there are certain things we can do to make this experience more fun and educational for everybody. So the expectations I've written on the bottom of the board here. The first thing we're going to do during secrets is we're going to learn. We're going to learn a lot. You'll be amazed the amount that you can learn over these next 7 weeks with secrets. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how we can be a steward. So some of you guys might have heard that word steward before. And to be a steward of something means to take care of it. So some of you might have maybe a younger sibling that you take care of, or maybe you have a room that you have to help keep clean. When you take care of those things, you're being a steward of them. So during secrets, we're going to learn how we can be stewards of the ecosystem where we live, or the place where we live. Next, during secrets, we're going to be respectful. So even though we're not in a classroom around other students, it's still important that we learn how we can be respectful while we're doing online learning. And that might look something like making sure you're paying attention and not getting distracted by other things while you're doing your lesson. Maybe that you're not bothering your mom and dad if they're trying to work from home, or your younger siblings or older siblings in the house, but that you're really focused on learning during this time. And the last thing that we're going to do during secrets is we're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot of fun during secrets. And the important thing about these expectations is that they work the best when we're doing them all at the same time. If we're only learning, then maybe we're not having that much fun. If we're only being respectful, then I don't know, we might not be having that much fun either. If we're only having fun, then we might not be doing that much learning. These 4 things really work the best when we're doing them together. So I hope we can all give a thumbs up and agree to those expectations for secrets.
Great expectations, Huckleberry. So now it's time to reveal the secret. So every video will come with a secret. And the secret is the lesson for the day. Like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to learn about today? Well, so our secrets that we're going to bring in to the videos are similar to secrets that I shared with my friend, or maybe secrets that you share with your friends where they're kind of shy. So this might be kind of hard, but maybe if you gave me a drum roll on your either kitchen table or wherever you're doing your work, if you gave me a drum roll, I could hear it, and maybe the secret would feel welcome enough to come out and reveal itself. Can we do it? Ecosystems. Living things and non-living things working together to form a community. So if you look behind me, we've got a banner that we can put the secret under. Where do you think this should go? Under the S? Ecosystem starts with E, so maybe under this E, it's green. Under the green T. So with every secret, we have an action, and these actions help us remember what the secret means. So for ecosystems, our action goes like this. Ecosystems, living things and non-living things working together to form a community. All right, that was really good. Let's do it one more time. If you didn't already do it with me, stand on up. Maybe make your siblings stand up or your mom or dad stand up with you, and let's do it all together. Ecosystems, living things and non-living things working together to form a community. Good job, you guys. So now you know what the secret is for today. Here comes your skit.
Oh, what a lovely day for a hike in the woods. I love hiking in the forest because there are so many fascinating animals and plants. Wow, a beautiful tree.
Thank you! Not only am I beautiful, but I'm also a living tree. I am one of the most important 6 structures in the forest, and I provide food and shelter to all sorts of organisms.
All right, so you're a tree, and I get that. You talk, I don't get that. But what I really don't get is, what is an organism?
That tree thinks that trees are so great just because they're alive. Listen to me, for I am a noble snag, a tree that is diseased or dead. I'm the one who should be telling you about organisms, because I've got over 100 different types of organisms that use me every day. See, an organism is any living thing. Besides, that living tree will look like me soon enough. To become a snag, all a tree has to do is die and lose its top. Everything from bears to bees to birds use snags as a home or food source. So obviously, I'm the most important structure in the forest.
Excuse me. Don't listen to that old snag. I'm a log. You hear me? L-O-G, log. I am no doubt the most important structure in this forest, and if you listen closely, you may just hear why. I decompose, you see? I'm a nurse log, which means that I provide lots of nutrients to the soil. Plus, I bet you didn't know that I'm a home and food source for lots of different organisms.
Would you decompose already? I am deep, rich soil, and I'm so tired of all this racket. All you guys do all day long is argue over who is the most important structure. If you could all just quiet down long enough to look at it logically, you'd understand that none of you could exist without me.
Wow, I must have lost my mind. Did I just hear the dirt talking?
Uh-oh. Hiker, you did not just go there.
Oh, brother. Here we go again.
Did that hiker just come in, step on me, and called me dirt? Outrageous. I am deep, rich soil. Without me, none of these punks would be around because I provide all of the water and nutrients that plants need. I've even got a team of decomposers working for me 24 hours a day. My fungus, bacteria, and invertebrates help to break down all of the organic and inorganic materials that are needed for life. So, as you can see, I am clearly the most important structure in the forest.
You know what? I think you're all important for the forest ecosystem.
An eco what?
All of you forest organisms are part of the forest ecosystem. An ecosystem is living things and non-living things working together to form a community.
Oh, I think I get it. Living things and non-living things coming together to form a community.
That's it, Snag. Maybe this class could help us out with it. Living things
and non-living things working together to form a community.
Living things and non-living things working together to form a community.
So in today's lesson, we're going to show a little PowerPoint presentation for you guys. But before that, we have a couple words we need to define. You guys already learned the definition of our first vocabulary word today, which is ecosystem. Can you guys all stand up and do the action with me one more time? So our action for ecosystem goes like this. Living and non-living things working together to form a community. Oh yeah, you guys got that down. Our second word we want to define today is organism. You might have heard this word before, but an organism means any living thing. So, I'm an organism, you're an organism, your parents are organisms, your pet is an organism, but an organism can also mean plants, right? It can mean a plant or an animal. So these trees in this meadow are organisms, and so are these flowers. So is the tiniest little insect. So is a bird. Think of some more examples of organisms on your own. So we're going to start today by zooming way out and looking at the planet Earth that we call home. So the planet Earth is made up of many different ecosystems. Ecosystems differ from one another because each has its own elevation, temperature, rainfall, terrain. So this picture is a good example of the different living and non-living things that could make up an ecosystem. So let's look at different non-living things in this picture. So things that I see that are not alive are the sun, the water, the minerals that might be either in the soil or in the sand of that little pond there. And if we look at living things, there are lots of plants. I see some cattails, I see some daisies, I see some lily pads, some ferns, some trees, and also some animals. There's a deer, a frog, another frog, some turtles, a fish, a dragonfly, and a raccoon. So together, all of these things make up an ecosystem. And we might call this maybe a wetland ecosystem. So now we're going to travel far west to where the land meets the sea. And we call this type of ecosystem a coastal ecosystem. So some of you guys might have seen a place like this before if you've ever been to the Oregon coast. So let's talk about the different living and non-living things that we see in this picture. Starting with non-living, I see some rocks, some sand, some water. Again, we have air. It looks like maybe there's a little bit of mist or fog above the water. There might be some rock or clay up in that soil where the plants are. And then as far as living things, I see some greenery, some trees and bushes. Also in the ocean, there are probably some plants like seaweed. And though we can't see any animals, I'm sure there's tons of animals that like to live at the coast. There could be some crabs that are hanging out on these rocks, or barnacles, some sea anemones. In the water, there's probably some fish, maybe some whales, other tiny little microscopic organisms that we can't even see. Some seabirds might like to hang out around here, maybe some gulls or pelicans. So that's an example of a coastal ecosystem. But if we keep moving closer to home, we live near a lot of mountains. Mountain ecosystems have really different living and non-living things. So some non-living things that we can find in the mountains. Well, I see some snow in this picture. Snow is made up of frozen water, right? And we already talked about how water is not alive. There's also rock. Mountains are made up of rocks, right? Rocks aren't alive. Ooh, I also see lots of clouds in the sky. Clouds are made up of water vapor, so water in its gas form, and that's not alive. And then living things that might like to hang out in the mountains. I bet I could see some mountain goats up here, maybe some little marmots, maybe some eagles that like to fly up by the mountaintops. You could find some trees or mosses. So now we're gonna move and go even further east of us, to the shrub steppe ecosystem. So that's this picture here with the river and the road that's going along the river. And you guys might have seen a place like this before. This picture is actually taken along the Deschutes River. That's just past the Dalles. And this looks really different from the forest ecosystem where we live. But there's some of the same non-living things that we saw in the last pictures. We have some rock that's making up that gravel road, right? We also see water in the river, we see clouds, we see the sky. And as far as living things, I see some bushes there that are called shrubs. I think that's sagebrush. I also see some grasses and animals that might live here. We might find some coyote or some rattlesnakes, some rabbits. And those organisms are what make the shrub steppe the shrub steppe. Okay, so now we're going to arrive closer to home in the forest ecosystem. Here's a picture of a lovely forest. And forests have unique plants and animals that make a forest a forest. Here's some pictures here of some beautiful lupin flowers. These are blooming right now in forests near you. There's also a banana slug. Have you guys ever seen a banana slug before? Slimy. And a river otter. So we're going to talk about 6 different structures that make a forest. Let's talk about that word structure for a minute. Structures are physical features that are necessary for a system to function. So look around the room that you're in for a minute. Maybe you're in the kitchen or the dining room or the living room or in your bedroom. What different structures in that room make it that room? Maybe the couch makes it the living room, your bed makes it your bedroom, a sink and some food make it the kitchen. The forest has different structures that help to make it a forest. So the first structure that we're going to talk about are large living trees. We wouldn't have a forest if we didn't have large living trees. And forests are really important for the forest ecosystem. They provide food, shade, a place for nests or dens, and they create oxygen for all of the creatures that live in the forest. So for each structure we talk about, there's going to be an action that goes with it. Here's the action for large living trees. So every tree eventually gets old and dies and turns into what we call a snag. So a snag is our second structure of the forest. Snags are really important to the ecosystem because they provide a habitat or a place to live for lots of different creatures. Woodpeckers especially really like snags. Here's our action for snag. So eventually, snags fall over and turn into logs, which are our fourth structure. Logs can be important for an ecosystem because sometimes they provide a nice place for some new plants to grow, like this picture of a nurse log. Here's our action for log. Our fourth structure of the forest is deep, rich soil. So eventually, various forest creatures, time, and weather turn logs into this structure, soil. Deep, rich soil contains billions of living things, and it's not the same as dirt. Dirt is the stuff that you can find under your bed and behind your ears. It's not deep, rich soil at all. Here's our action for deep, rich soil. Our fifth structure are openings. Openings are formed when a tree or snag falls over, takes out a few trees and branches around it, and then creates space in the canopy, allowing sunlight to reach the forest floor. Our action for openings goes like this. Our sixth and final structure of the forest ecosystem are canopy layers. I have a question for you. Are all trees in the forest the same size? No. Trees are all different sizes. We have small little baby trees, we have medium-sized trees, we have really, really tall trees. And it's the differences in these sizes that create layers in the forest. And each layer could be a habitat for a different kind of creature. If you live in the lower layer, then maybe you're a banana slug, a snake, maybe a deer needs to live in the lower canopy layer. And the middle canopy layer could have some squirrels and some birds. And the top canopy layer could be home to big birds of prey or some owls. Here's our action for canopy layer. You can choose which layer to be. You can either be the bottom canopy layer, the middle canopy layer, or the tippy top canopy layer. Now we're going to play a little game. It's time for your pop quiz. So when I say one of the structures of the forest, it's your turn to act out what each of those structures is. First, let's do a little review. The action for large living trees looks like this. Snags looks like this. Logs looks like this. Deep, rich soil looks like this. Wings and canopy layers. Now for speed round. Show me the action for large living trees. Logs. Deep, rich soil. Snag. Tree. Log. Canopy layer. Another canopy layer. Tree. Log.
All right, let's get into it. First activity, we have the mystery box. Mystery box. If you have any family members or friends that are in 6th grade through 12th grade or even graduated high school last year, you could ask them if they remember doing secrets. Probably some of the people you ask are gonna remember the mystery box. All right, so the mystery box. It's just a shoe box with a hole in it, some felt so you can't see, and inside is something from nature. Now there's nothing sharp, nothing alive, nothing that's gonna bite, nothing slimy. But how it works, I'm gonna put my hand in here, I'm gonna feel around, see if I can figure out what this is. All right, I'm not afraid, no tengo miedo. But I'm feeling around, and I'm feeling something that's kind of soft, but it's hard at the same time. I guess it's more like squishy. And it feels like a bunch of little scales together, but it's not from an animal. I think it's from one of those trees back there, something that might have fallen off of the tree and has seeds in it. I'm gonna guess that it's a pine cone. Let's check it. Yep, pine cone. Got it. This is from a western white pine. These grow in the national forests around here. And these trees live to be 300 to 500 years old. Pretty cool tree. Let's move on to our next mystery box. A little different color. It doesn't sound like much. Oh, this kind of feels like a bone. But there's a spot maybe where it was attached to something. And then the bone is kind of branching out into multiple pieces and going to a point at the end. I kind of am thinking it's something that maybe grows on top of a head. Yeah, let's see. Maybe like an antler or something. Yep. Deer antler. Check this out. So this is what I was feeling when I said it feels like it's attached to something, because this down here at the bottom, it's called the, so this is where the antler attaches, right down here, attaches to the head. And the male deer are the ones that are growing these, so not the female deer. And they shed them every year. So they grow them, they drop them, and the next year they regrow them. Each time that they grow them, they grow a couple of more points. The bigger the antlers, the more points they have, the older the deer. 2 mystery boxes down. 3rd mystery box. I'm excited for this one. 3rd mystery box. A little different color, same idea. This also feels like bone, but I'm feeling some teeth, and I'm feeling some sharp teeth. So I'm thinking this is the skull, but it has some really big eyes. I mean, like really big eyes. So maybe it hunts at night if it has big eyes, and the eyes are up in the front. Eyes are in the front, ready to hunt. Really sharp teeth. These big canines are super sharp. So something that eats meat, I think. There's got to be a big animal, probably hunting those deer that we were just looking at. Let's see. Oh yeah, a cougar skull. Look at that thing. Look at these teeth. Are you serious? They're super sharp. And then those big eyes for hunting, and it even has this little crest on top of it. See that little crest? That's how I know it has really strong jaw muscles. That ridge along the top of the skull is the sagittal crest, which means it has really strong jaw muscles, and that is where the muscles attach to the skull. Pretty cool animal. All right, here we go, our last mystery box. This one I know is gonna be good. Check this out. My favorite color, blue. All right, here we go. What is that? Oh, it's like squishy and it's like fungus maybe, or somebody put some Play-Doh in here? I don't know what this is. I feel like it's something fake. I don't know. Let's see. Let's check it out. I'm a little nervous about this one. Let's see what this is. Oh, oh, what? Oh, gross. What? Who did this? Oh, it's fake. Somebody put fake poop in here. But not just any kind of poop. Check this out. This is fake bear scat. So scat is the scientific word we use for poop. So this is fake black bear scat. It's evidence of the bear eating acorn. That's right. Did you know bears ate acorns? Actually around here, they mostly eat berries. So sometimes when they are eating berries, you can actually see the berries in their scat. Okay, well that was kind of a funny one. Not sure who did that. Playing a little trick on me. All right, well that's all of our mystery boxes. Now, we're gonna move on to this book. All right, last thing we're gonna do, I have a challenge for you. And don't worry, you have your options of how you do this challenge, all right? You all belong, and you are all very capable and resilient, and I know you're gonna be able to figure this out. Your challenge is to create a mystery box. Now, your mystery box is probably gonna look different than my mystery boxes. I've made 2 different mystery boxes here. I'm gonna show you really quickly what I did. First one, took a shoebox. Nobody needed it anymore. We had it laying around. Took the shoebox, cut out a little hole in the front. I kept the pieces of cardboard from the piece of the shoebox here in the front. So now I can put those back together, and I have my little block, so you can't see, but I can still put my hand in and feel around. All right, so you could do something like that. It didn't take very long, a few minutes. Be resourceful. Maybe find a different box. If you don't have an old shoe box, you could find a cardboard box or something. I also made one out of a paper grocery bag. All right, opened it up. And then I tore these top pieces at the corners and halfway in between each flap. Tore those, folded them down, and voila. Now I have a mystery box that way too. Can't see into it. I can still put my hand in there, and then go find some things to put in there. You could use something from inside. My son used one of his toy cars. We also put acorns in there, pine cones, a flower. All right, so make a mystery box, put something in it, and go find somebody that you live with to feel in there. Nothing sharp, nothing alive, nothing's gonna bite, nothing slimy. Be respectful, be a steward. And if you don't wanna make a mystery box, I bet you could draw a picture of a mystery box or write a poem about a mystery box. So that's your challenge. We're thinking of all of you, and we're really happy that you're watching this video. We'll see you next time. And remember, keep calm, get your outdoors on.